A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant move that has raised alarms among climate advocates and global leaders alike, President Donald Trump has announced the United States' withdrawal from the Paris Agreement for the second time. This decision, confirmed on his first day back in office, positions the U.S. alongside Iran, Libya, and Yemen as one of the few nations outside the 2015 Global Pact aimed at limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. The Paris Agreement, established to combat climate change and its devastating impacts, was initially abandoned by Trump in 2017, a move that was reversed by President Joe Biden in 2021. The implications of this withdrawal are vast and troubling, as experts warn it undermines international efforts to address the escalating climate crisis. The announcement, detailed in a White House document titled President Trump's America First Priorities, aligns with Trump's long-standing skepticism of climate change, which he has previously dismissed as a hoax. This withdrawal is part of a broader agenda to deregulate the fossil fuel industry, allowing for increased oil and gas production. The U.S. has already emerged as the world's top producer of oil and natural gas, thanks in part to advancements in fracking technology and favorable global market conditions. Under Biden's administration, the U.S. had made significant strides in climate policy, including rejoining the Paris Agreement and setting ambitious emissions reduction targets. Biden's plans aimed for a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 61% to 66% by 2035, compared to 2005 levels, with the ultimate goal of achieving net zero emissions by 2050. However, Trump's return to power threatens to dismantle these efforts, as he has pledged to reverse Biden's clean energy initiatives, labeling them a Green New Scam, and advocating for a return to fossil fuel dominance. The consequences of Trump's withdrawal from the Paris Agreement could be dire. Experts estimate that his administration's policies could add approximately 4 billion tons of emissions by 2030, exacerbating an already critical situation. Climate advocates emphasize that the impact will be felt most severely by developing nations, which are often the most vulnerable to climate-related disasters despite contributing the least to global emissions. Harjit Singh, a climate activist, highlighted that these communities will face intensified floods, rising sea levels, and severe droughts as a result of the U.S.'s decision to step back from global climate leadership. In the wake of this announcement, former EPA Administrator Gina McCarthy criticized Trump for abdicating his responsibility to Americans and urged subnational leaders across the U.S. to continue pushing for climate action, regardless of federal policy. She expressed hope that states, cities, and businesses would take the initiative to lead the charge toward a clean energy economy, emphasizing that the fight against climate change transcends who occupies the Oval Office. As the world prepares for the upcoming UN summit in Brazil in November 2025, where leaders will seek to forge a global plan to prevent catastrophic temperature increases, the urgency for collective action has never been greater. Experts warn that without significant cuts to fossil fuel emissions, the planet is on track for a temperature rise of over 3 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, which could lead to devastating consequences such as extreme weather events, sea level rise, and food and water insecurity. Paul Bledsoe, a former climate official, emphasized the risks associated with Trump's climate strategy, which he described as a reckless approach that prioritizes short-term political gains over long-term planetary health. The recent devastating wildfires in Los Angeles, linked to the climate crisis, serve as a stark reminder of the immediate threats posed by climate change, further complicating the political landscape as Trump navigates his second term. As the debate over climate policy intensifies, the divide between Trump's administration and Biden's previous efforts highlights the challenges facing the U.S. in its role as a global leader in climate action. The implications of this withdrawal extend beyond national borders, affecting international cooperation and the collective fight against climate change at a time when such unity is critical. The coming years will be crucial in determining the future of U.S. climate policy and its impact on global efforts to combat one of the most pressing issues of our time. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.